Welcome back to my YouTube channel Coins History Coins VC. Today we're exploring 4 amazing coins from the United States, each with its own unique story, history, and value money bag. In this video, 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar, 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial half dollar, 1980 D. Kennedy half dollar, 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar. Discover their history, mint marks, design details, and collector value. Top 1. The United States of America half dollar 1971 D is an important and historically rich coin that marks a significant transition in American coinage, especially in terms of composition, design continuity, and economic context. This coin belongs to the famous Kennedy half dollar series, which was first issued in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. The Kennedy half dollar quickly became one of the most recognized and collected coins in U.S. history, both for its emotional significance and its evolving metallic content over the years. By 1971, the United States Mint made a major change in the composition of the half dollar. Earlier Kennedy half dollars minted from 1965 to 1970 contained 40% silver, but starting in 1971, including the 1971 D coin, the silver content was completely removed. The 1971 D half dollar is therefore made of a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core bonded between outer layers of copper and nickel. This change reflected broader economic pressures, including rising silver prices and the need to preserve precious metals. As a result, the 1971 D represents the beginning of the modern clad era for half dollars, making it historically significant for collectors and historians alike. The D mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major minting facilities in the United States. The Denver Mint has long been known for producing large quantities of circulating coinage, and the 1971 D half dollar is no exception, with millions struck for general circulation. Despite its high mintage, finding well-preserved examples with sharp details and minimal work can still be rewarding for collectors. The obverse front of the coin features a left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by sculptor Gilroy Roberts. Kennedy's profile is bold and dignified, capturing his youthful energy and leadership. The word liberty is inscribed along the top edge, while the motto, "In God We Trust," appears below the chin. The year 1971 is located at the bottom, marking the coin's place in the early 1970s, a time of economic transition and cultural change in the United States. On the reverse back, the coin showcases the presidential seal, an adaptation created by engraver Frank. This design features a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and military readiness. Above the eagle is a cluster of stars, and surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. The reverse design reflects national pride and the strength of the United States during a time when the country was navigating complex global and domestic challenges. In terms of physical specifications, the 1971 D Kennedy half dollar has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a weight of 11.34 grams, and a reeded edge. Its copper-nickel composition gives it a silvery appearance, although it lacks the intrinsic value of earlier silver coins. Over time, circulated coins may develop wear, dullness, or minor scratches, while uncirculated specimens retain their original mint luster and sharp details. From a collector's perspective, the 1971 D half dollar is relatively common and affordable, making it an excellent entry point for beginners in coin collecting. However, high-grade uncirculated coins, especially those graded or higher, can carry a premium due to their superior condition. Additionally, collectors often look for coins with strong strikes, minimal contact marks, and attractive luster. While the 1971 D does not typically have major rare varieties, some minor die errors and variations may exist, adding a layer of interest for advanced collectors. Historically, the 1971 D half dollar also reflects a period when half dollars were gradually disappearing from everyday use in the United States. Despite being produced in large numbers, the denomination saw declining circulation as people preferred smaller coins like quarters and dimes. This shift was influenced by changing consumer habits, vending machine limitations, and the public's tendency to save Kennedy half dollars as keepsakes. In conclusion, the United States 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of change in American monetary history. It marks the end of silver in circulating half dollars, represents the enduring legacy of President John F. Kennedy, and showcases the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. Whether you are a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist, this coin holds educational, historical, and sentimental value, making it a meaningful addition to any collection or study of American currency. Next, top 2. The United States of America half dollar 1776 to 1976 D. Mint mark is one of the most iconic and historically meaningful coins ever issued by the United States, created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the nation's independence, known as the United States Bicentennial. This special commemorative coin is part of the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series, which honors President John F. Kennedy. Unlike regular half-dollars that carry a single year, this coin uniquely displays the dual date, 1776 to 1976, symbolizing 2 centuries of American history, freedom, and national identity. The 1976 D half dollar was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark found on the obverse of the coin, just below Kennedy's portrait. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins for circulation, making them widely available at the time. However, despite their large mintage, these coins have remained extremely popular among collectors due to their commemorative design and patriotic significance. The Bicentennial coinage program was authorized by the U.S. government to mark 200 years since the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence, a defining moment that established the United States as a sovereign nation. The obverse, front, of the coin continues the classic Kennedy portrait designed by Gilroy Roberts. The design shows a strong and dignified left-facing image of President Kennedy, symbolizing leadership and hope. Surrounding the portrait is the inscription Liberty, while the motto "In God We Trust" appears below. The dual date, 1776 to 1976, is prominently displayed at the bottom, replacing the usual single year. This dual dating is one of the most distinctive features of the bicentennial coinage and serves as a constant reminder of the nation's 200-year journey. What truly sets the 1776 to 1976 half dollar apart is its unique reverse, back, design, which differs from the standard presidential seal used on regular Kennedy half dollars. The reverse was designed by artist Seth G. Huntington, whose work was selected through a national competition. His design features Independence Hall in Philadelphia, a historic building where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were debated and adopted. This building, represented as an Independence Hall, is one of the most important symbols of American freedom and democracy. The reverse also includes the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar, reinforcing the coin's national identity and denomination. In terms of composition, most 1976 D half dollars were struck in a copper-nickel clad format, consisting of a pure copper core with outer layers of copper and nickel. This gives the coin its familiar silver-like appearance while keeping production costs low. However, special collector versions were also produced in 40% silver, though these were mainly struck in San Francisco and sold in proof or uncirculated sets. The standard Denver minted coins intended for circulation do not contain silver, making them more common but still historically valuable. Physically, the coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters and weighs approximately 11.34 grams, with a reeded edge. In circulated condition, these coins may show wear, scratches, or toning, while uncirculated examples maintain their original luster and sharp design details. High-grade specimens, especially those graded or above, are more desirable and can command higher prices in the collector market. From a cultural and historical perspective, the bicentennial half dollar reflects a time of national pride and reflection in the United States during the 1970s. The country was emerging from a turbulent decade marked by political and social changes, and the bicentennial celebration served as an opportunity to unite citizens around a shared history. Special events, parades, and commemorations were held across the nation, and coins like the 1976 D half dollar became lasting souvenirs of this important milestone. Collectors today value the 1976 D Kennedy half dollar not only for its design, but also for what it represents. a bridge between the founding of the United States in 1776 and its modern identity in 1976. While the coin is generally affordable due to its high mintage, it holds strong sentimental and educational value. Many people who lived during the Bicentennial era remember these coins as part of everyday life, often saving them as keepsakes rather than spending them. In conclusion, the United States 1776-1976 D-half dollar is a powerful symbol of American heritage, combining historical significance, artistic design, and national pride into a single coin. It stands as a tribute to 200 years of independence, honoring the vision of the Founding Fathers and the legacy of President John F. Kennedy. Whether you are a coin collector, a history enthusiast, or simply someone interested in meaningful artifacts, this bicentennial half dollar remains a timeless and valuable piece of American history. Next top 3. The United States of America half dollar 1980. D is a notable coin from the long-running Kennedy half dollar series, a denomination that honors the legacy of President John F. Kennedy. By 1980, the Kennedy half dollar had already been in circulation for over 15 years, and although it was no longer commonly used in everyday transactions, it remained an important part of U.S. coinage, especially for collectors and enthusiasts. The 1980 D coin represents a period when half dollars were primarily produced for collectors rather than for active circulation, reflecting changing economic habits and the declining use of larger denomination coins in daily commerce. The D Mint mark on the 1980 half dollar indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major coin-producing facilities in the country. The Denver Mint has historically produced large quantities of circulating coins, and the 1980 D half dollar was minted in significant numbers. However, unlike earlier decades, many of these coins did not see heavy circulation, as the public had largely stopped using half dollars in everyday transactions. Instead, they were often saved, collected, or included in mint sets. The obverse front of the 1980 D Kennedy half dollar features the familiar portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. Kennedy is shown in a left-facing profile, with a calm and dignified expression that reflects his leadership and enduring influence. The word liberty is inscribed prominently along the top edge of the coin, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," appears below the portrait. The year 1980 is displayed at the bottom, marking the coin's place in a decade characterized by economic challenges and shifting monetary practices in the United States. The reverse back of the coin displays the presidential seal, adapted for coinage by Frank Gasparo. This intricate design features a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, holding an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing the nation's desire for peace and its readiness to defend itself. Above the eagle is a cluster of stars representing the original states, and surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. The reverse design is both detailed and symbolic, reflecting the strength and unity of the nation. In terms of composition, the 1980 D half dollar is made of a copper-nickel-clad material, consisting of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel. This composition was adopted in 1971, replacing the earlier silver content used in previous half dollars. The coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, weighs approximately 11.34 grams, and features a reeded edge. Its metallic composition gives it a silvery appearance, although it contains no precious metals. From a historical perspective, the 1980 D half dollar reflects a time when the role of the half dollar in American commerce was diminishing. Rising prices, changes in consumer behavior, and the increasing use of paper currency all contributed to the decline in the coin's circulation. Additionally, vending machines and cash registers were not designed to accommodate half dollars, further limiting their use. As a result, many 1980 D half dollars remained in excellent condition, having never been heavily circulated. For collectors, the 1980 D Kennedy half dollar is considered a common coin, but it still holds value depending on its condition. Circulated examples are typically worth face value or slightly more, while uncirculated coins with strong luster and minimal contact marks can be more desirable. Coins graded MS-65 or higher are especially sought after, as they represent the best preserved examples of this issue. While there are no widely recognized major error varieties for the 1980 D, collectors may still search for minor die errors or unique characteristics that add interest. Culturally, the Kennedy half-dollar continues to serve as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, whose legacy remains influential in American history. Even decades after his presidency, his image on the half-dollar symbolizes hope, leadership, and national unity. The continued production of the coin into the 1980s and beyond reflects the enduring respect and admiration for his contributions to the nation. In conclusion, the United States 1980 D. Kennedy half-dollar is a meaningful piece of modern American coinage. While it may not be rare or highly valuable in monetary terms, it carries significant historical and cultural importance. It represents a transitional era in U.S. currency, when traditional coin denominations were becoming less central to everyday life, yet still preserved through minting and collecting. For numismatists and history enthusiasts, the 1980 D half-dollar offers a glimpse into the evolving nature of American money and the lasting legacy of President John F. Kennedy. Next top 4. The United States of America half-dollar 1983 D is an interesting and historically meaningful issue from the enduring Kennedy half-dollar series, which was created to honor the legacy of President John F. Kennedy after his assassination in 1963. By the time the 1983 D half-dollar was produced, the coin had already transitioned from a widely circulated denomination into a piece that was primarily minted for collectors and limited distribution. This makes the 1983 D issue particularly notable, as it belongs to a period when half-dollars were no longer commonly seen in everyday transactions across the United States. The D mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, a key branch of the United States Mint responsible for producing large volumes of circulating coinage. However, an important historical detail about the 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar is that it was not released into general circulation in the traditional sense. Instead, it was only available through official U.S. Mint sets, meaning collectors had to purchase it directly as part of a packaged set rather than receiving it in change. This limited method of distribution makes the 1983 D half-dollar more difficult to find in circulation today compared to earlier issues, adding to its appeal among collectors. The obverse front of the coin features the well-known portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. Kennedy is shown in a left-facing profile, with a composed and dignified expression that reflects his leadership and influence. The word liberty is prominently inscribed along the upper edge of the coin, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," appears below the portrait. The date 1983 is positioned at the bottom, clearly identifying the year of issue and placing the coin within a decade marked by economic recovery and modernization in the United States. On the reverse back, the coin displays the presidential seal, adapted for coinage by Frank Gasparo. The design features a heraldic eagle with its wings spread wide, holding an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing the balance between peace and military strength. Above the eagle is a cluster of stars representing the states, and surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and half-dollar. The reverse design remains consistent with most Kennedy half-dollars issued after 1964, maintaining a sense of continuity and national symbolism. In terms of composition, the 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar is made of a copper-nickel-clad material, consisting of a pure copper core bonded between outer layers of copper and nickel. This composition had been in use since 1971, when the United States eliminated silver from circulating half-dollars due to rising precious metal costs. The coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, weighs approximately 11.34 grams, and features a reeded edge. Its appearance is similar to silver coins, but it contains no actual silver, reflecting the economic realities of modern coin production. From a collector's standpoint, the 1983 D half-dollar is particularly interesting because of its limited distribution. Since it was only available in mint sets, most examples are found in uncirculated condition, often with good luster and relatively few signs of wear. However, high-grade specimens, especially those with minimal contact marks and strong strikes, are still desirable and can command higher premiums. Additionally, because fewer people saved mint sets from this year compared to earlier decades, complete and well-preserved examples can be somewhat harder to find today. Historically, the 1983 D Kennedy half-dollar reflects a time when the role of the half-dollar in everyday American life had significantly diminished. Inflation, changing spending habits, and the widespread use of smaller denominations and paper currency all contributed to the decline in its circulation. As a result, the coin became more of a collector's item than a practical medium of exchange. This shift highlights broader trends in the U.S. economy and the evolving nature of money during the late 20th century. Culturally, the coin continues to honor the legacy of President John F. Kennedy, whose image remains one of the most recognizable on American currency. His presidency, though brief, left a lasting impact on the nation, and the continued production of the Kennedy half-dollar serves as a tribute to his vision and leadership. Even decades later, the coin stands as a symbol of national pride, remembrance, and historical continuity. In conclusion, the United States 1983 D. Kennedy half-dollar is a unique and valuable piece of modern American numismatics. While it may not be rare in the traditional sense, its limited release through mint sets, combined with its historical context and connection to President Kennedy, makes it a significant and collectible coin. For collectors and history enthusiasts alike, the 1983 D half-dollar offers insight into a period of transition in U.S. coinage, when practicality gave way to preservation and the half-dollar found a new role as a cherished collectible rather than a commonly used coin.